Hi everyone. In this quick tip, I'm going to talk briefly about improving and managing the performance of vendor databases. When thinking about making changes to any third-party application, there are two cases. The first is when the application is still under license or the vendor doesn't want you modifying things. In this case, you definitely don't want to be modifying anything. Even adding something as simple as a non-clustered index can affect things. There are rare cases where database level changes are okay, but you have to make sure that the vendor is both aware of it and okay with it. Often, the easiest way to affect change is to do the performance analysis yourself. Present the changes you would make to the vendor along with all the supporting evidence you collected. From a vendor's point of view, ideally suggestions are specific, easy to implement and test, and have a high positive impact for every client. Work on identifying the top 5 or so tables or 1 to 2 application areas that would benefit the most from performance changes. If your case is supported with enough evidence, you may find that the vendor implements it in the next version. The second case is when the application is out of license or the vendor is okay with you making changes. In this case, it's pretty much free reign, except that all the object names have to stay in place, even if the objects themselves aren't the same. There really are a lot of options here, depending on how the application works. The key is to test the changes very thoroughly. If you plan to apply vendor database updates in the future, you definitely want to tread carefully and create undo scripts for all the changes you're going to make. In either of the two cases, performance of the application can benefit from optimal configuration of the instance. For example, is tempdb configured optimally? Is the maximum degree of parallelism configured correctly? Sometimes the vendor will have a specific set of configuration parameters, or they may be able to directly help you configure the system. One database level change that might be beneficial is to enable read-committed snapshot isolation. This will help alleviate blocking issues caused by highly concurrent applications. You definitely need to make sure that the vendor is okay with this though, because it does affect existing database functionality. For vendor databases in general, it's desirable to separate it and any related databases into its own SQL Server instance, even if it's still sharing the same instance of Windows with other applications. Doing this gives you much more flexibility to give it more resources or to limit the resources that it's currently consuming. Even though it won't give you maximum performance, it may be beneficial for management purposes to implement virtualization for a small to medium-sized application. This would give you the ability to move the application to a faster piece of hardware live in real time with very little downtime. If you found this video helpful, please click the like button and subscribe to the channel to see more videos in the future. Thanks for watching.